The vibration against my thighs jolted me from sleep. It was 3:17 in the morning. Molly, my wife of a decade, lay curled up beside me deep in slumber, or so it seemed. I reached beneath the blanket, expecting my own phone, but the device I pulled out wasn't mine. It was hers. She must have rolled onto it. The screen lit up in the dark, casting a soft glow across the sheets. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, baby. Miss you so much. Zoko. My breath caught. A chill spread through my chest like ice water. It wasn't a message from family or a close friend. No. The intimacy of the words, the casual baby. The longing. It was unmistakably romantic. It was a message meant for someone who wasn't me. My first instinct was to shake her awake and demand an explanation. But I didn't. Instead, something colder, steadier, took hold of me. I needed to know more. Almost automatically, my fingers danced across her phone. Tomorrow? What time should I expect you? I sent the message and quietly returned her phone to the nightstand. Then, heart-thudding, I closed my eyes and pretended to sleep. A few moments later, the device buzzed again. I felt her shift beside me. She stirred, reached out for the phone, and the screen's pale light once again illuminated her face in the pre-dawn stillness. Through barely opened lids, I watched as her expression changed. Her eyes widened, lips parted. She stared at the screen like it had punched her. Then, in a panic, she dropped the phone, and it clattered to the wooden floor. She sat up with a jerk, glancing at me with wide, guilty eyes. Peepaw. I. Her voice barely broke above a whisper. Feigning confusion, I sat up slowly and rubbed my eyes. What's wrong? She froze. Nothing, she replied quickly, too quickly. Just a nightmare. She jumped out of bed, scooped up her phone, and rushed to the bathroom, locking the door behind her. It was all the confirmation I needed. All the tiny doubts I'd pushed aside over the past few months. Those late nights at work, the sudden secrecy, the vague explanations, they snapped into focus. Molly was having an affair. I lay there staring at the ceiling, the silence heavy, the betrayal suffocating. 10 years together. A shared home, dreams, struggles, triumphs, all now tainted. After what felt like hours, the bathroom door opened with a soft click. She stepped out, pale and shaken, eyes swollen and red. She couldn't even look at me. We need to talk, she whispered hoarsely. I nodded. Yes, we do. My voice was quiet but sharp-edged. Who is he? She paled further. Her lips parted, trying to form words. Finally, after a long, trembling silence, she said, David. He's someone I work with. David. I knew him. The new project manager. Always smiling, always a little too familiar with Molly at company parties. It all made sense now. Over the next hour, she unraveled the ugly truth. Hidden glances in the office, lies wrapped in team dinners, secret weekends under the guise of corporate retreats. Every confession drove the knife deeper. She wept, begged me to forgive her, claimed it was a mistake. Said she didn't mean for it to happen. But her tears did nothing to dull the ache spreading through me. I didn't yell. I didn't rage. That level of fury had already passed through me. I just looked at her and said, Pack your things. Leave. By morning she was gone. The house felt alien, silent in a way it had never been before. I stood in the kitchen, watching the steam rise from my coffee, feeling utterly hollow. But beneath the emptiness, something else was taking root. I wasn't going to let them walk away unscathed. My first step was calculated. I reached out to HR, anonymously, and reported David for engaging in a relationship with a married coworker. Our company had strict guidelines around interdepartmental romances. He had crossed a line. Next, I found David's wife, Emily. She seemed kind from the photos, 2 kids, lots of family moments. I couldn't imagine she knew what was happening. So I created a fake account, sent her screenshots of Molly's messages, and hit send. Within days, everything unraveled. David was terminated from his position. Emily, understandably furious and heartbroken, threw him out. But that wasn't enough. I needed to see him, to watch the truth of his destruction settle in his eyes. I found him at a small bar downtown, slouched at the counter, nursing his shame. I walked in and approached without hesitation. David. He turned slowly, recognition spreading across his face like a shadow. His hand trembled slightly. "Paul, enjoying your drink?" I asked, my tone sharp with mock politeness. He didn't respond. Just stared at me, guilt and fear battling behind his tired eyes. "I thought you were a decent man," I said, voice low, each word cutting. "Guess I was wrong." "I'm sorry," he murmured, looking anywhere but at me. "Sorry." I laughed bitterly. "You helped destroy my marriage. You snuck around, lied, manipulated. And now you want to say sorry?" Heads turned. The room had gone quieter. David seemed to shrink in his seat. "You stole something that never belonged to you. And now," I leaned in, "now you've lost everything." I turned and left, not waiting for a response. The image of him slouched and broken was enough. That night, I slept better than I had in weeks. The following months were rough. The pain lingered like a bruise that wouldn't fade. I started therapy, buried myself in work, spent time with old friends I'd drifted from. Slowly, I began to rediscover who I was without Molly. Then one day, I got a message from her. She wrote a long apology, said she'd lost everything, her marriage, her job, her stability. She was trying to start over, scraping her life back together. I read it once, then deleted it. What was there to say? Yes, I still felt the echoes of what we'd shared. But those memories were tainted now, buried beneath her lies. She had made her choice. The scars she left behind would always be there. But so would the strength I found in surviving it. I had faced betrayal, picked up the broken pieces, and moved forward. And as I stood in the new life I was building, I made myself a promise. Never again would I be someone's victim.